to Katican News for Sunday, January 19, 2025. Today's stories include Marvel Snap got banned with TikTok? What? Riot Games is donating a lot of money to the LA fires, and Sony confirms the cancellation of 2 live service games. All of that and more on today's episode of Katican News. What's up, everybody? It is your boy, Cheesehead Troy, and today I am your host of the Katican News Network. I hope everybody is having an absolute blast of a time. I hope everybody's here having a good time. So, a couple housekeeping things for you guys. Number one, this is a test episode of the Katican News Show. This is something that I want to do on a regular basis. We're going to talk about, right now, we're going to aim to do this once a week. This is a live thing that'll then show up on my
Need a
videos
UGC
channel
video for your business? Find
like
me
that.
and many other skilled creators.
Don't worry about that. That is kind of, again, this is all a test situation. Again, we plan on doing this at least once a week, if not more than that. We are going to make sure that we are hitting at least a half hour every day that we do this. A half hour minimum, little news channel, little news show. And then eventually the plan is to take this and go the route of getting it into podcast feeds as well. So not only is this going to be a visual kind of show, but we can also turn it, I kind of want to make it so that it is a, it's also going to be something that people that are audio listeners can listen to easily as well in podcast form. So today, guys, we have 4 news stories. We're going to go ahead and talk about them. I have pulled them from a bunch of different sources. If you check the description below, you will see where I'm getting these. You can read the articles for yourselves. So again, this is the Katican News Show brought to you by Katican Studios. Again, I am Cheesehead Troy, your host. Let's go ahead and get right into the first topic or first story of the day. This comes from Ryan Dinsdale over at IGN. EA Sports College Football is coming back, baby. EA Sports College Football 26 available starting in the summer of 2025. The article reads, quote, "The series Twitter account announced the incoming sequel. Quote, we said this place would be full again. Thanks to our players, athletes, and fans for filling the house with us. Let's keep that kickoff energy going till College Football 26 drops this summer." They went on to talk in the article about how, another quote here, it arrived as the first franchise entry in 11 years and was immediately successful, pulling in as many as 700,000 players in its first day of early access and a staggering 2.2 million players by the end of its early access period. It later closed 2024 as the best-selling sports video game in U.S. history ever. Like, in terms of dollar sales, it destroyed any sports game that has ever come out. So that's pretty crazy, right? EA Sports, we've got another college football game coming. Now, we hope, right, as gamers that played College Football 25, that some of the things that were missing or not fully there or very annoying do get fixed going into the next iteration of college football. For an example, something that I really, really did not like is that there was no fight songs. The menu music was the same drum line over and over and over again. And so personally, I would love to see that go away. Outside of that too, you know, there was certain songs that were not in the game. Most notably, I'm Cheesehead Troy, so I'm from Wisconsin, right? So we want stuff like the Badgers, right? The Badgers Jump Around is their big song. Well, Jump Around's not in the game. That can't happen. You want to have an authentic experience, you need to have an authentic experience. Pay the money, EA. You obviously saw you made a ton of money in the first year. Let's go ahead. Let's get this going. EA College Football 26, is coming this summer. I'm super, super excited about that. Please go ahead and chat or super chat in to let us know, hey, Troy and Katican News, I really didn't like college football. And tell me why you didn't like it. And if you did like it, tell me why you did like it. And then I'm just curious, did you buy the early access or did you not buy the early access? Please let me know in the comments down below. Our second story today comes from Claire Lewis at GameSpot. This one's a big one. For anybody who doesn't know, real quick, there is a lot of fires going on over in LA area. And we're very hopeful that all of this gets fixed in the near future. But as of right now, it is just kind of a hellhole. So definitely keep that in mind. I don't know why this is gone. There we go. This is a test episode, so we're learning together, everybody. But again, our second story today comes from Claire Lewis from GameSpot. Says Riot Games launches in-game events to raise funds for LA fire victims. Riot Games is taking action in the wake of the devastating fires that have torn through various parts of the Los Angeles area in recent days. In the coming week, the publisher will implement in-game fundraisers The publisher will implement in-game fundraisers in games like League of Legends and Valorant, with proceeds going to those who were affected by the fires. Quote, while these are incredibly difficult times and there is a long road to recovery ahead, I am grateful that we are collectively in this together no matter where we are in the world, Riot CEO A. Dylan DeJaja said. Thank you for all of your support. So those are some of the big things, what you can look forward to in regards to those fundraisers. Looks like the XO collection in Valorant will become the give back bundle. So if you buy anything part of the XO collection, any money raised from the sales of cosmetics from this bundle will go to the Riot Games Social Impact Fund, which is the fund they're going to use to donate money. As for League of Legends, players can look forward to slightly longer fundraising effort, starting with Firefighter. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. This was all very last minute. I apologize. As for League of Legends, players can look forward to a slightly longer fundraising effort, starting with Firefighter translated up being unvaulted specifically for the fundraiser. Like Valorant's give back bundle, all proceeds from the Firefighter, Tristina, will go towards Riot Games Social Impact Fund. So those are some of the things that you can look forward to in regards to that. I want to give a huge shout out to Riot Games altogether. Riot Games has always been very important to donating money to causes that need it. They've been very accepting of everybody in the world, whether you're gay, straight, black, Asian, white, whatever. They are a very inclusive community of developers and people, and Riot Games just deserves the flowers that they need. They've been very supportive of all kinds of fundraisers for all kinds of problems that have happened in this world. So shout out to Riot Games for really putting their money where their mouth is in terms of that. All right. This next story, this one's a big one, guys, and we'll talk a little bit more about this one, and we'll go into a little bit more detail as to why this is a big one here in 1 minute. So we'll start off right away with the headline, and this is coming from Sophie McAvoy from GamesIndustry.biz. Sony confirms the cancellation of live service projects from Bend Studio and Bluepoint Games. Neither studio will be shuttered, but it is unclear if the decision will result in layoffs. All right, before we go ahead and read into a little bit of the article, I want to talk about this for a second. Now, for those of you who don't know who Bend Studio is the developer of Days Gone. It is a single-player, third-person action adventure from, oh my goodness, from Bend Studio. It's a zombie game. And if you've ever seen Zombie Guy drive around on a motorcycle, that is that game. It's a third-person game. You're shooting a lot of zombies. You drive around a motorcycle. It's pretty cool. Ben Studios was pretty much, they were making another game. And that's what's really crazy about this whole situation is Ben Studios was a first-party developer known for its work on Days Gone. Bluepoint, I mean, I'm just trying to see here. I know we know what the Bluepoint game was. I'm just trying to figure out what the game was going to be. These are the dedicated online players. Yeah, see, I again, this is a test episode. We're learning together, chat. We're learning together. But basically, I don't remember what Ben Studio was working on. And then Bluepoint, as mentioned here in the article, Bluepoint Games was acquired by Sony in 2021 as a first-party studio with its focus on developing remasters and remakes, including Uncharted, God of War, and Demon's Souls. Now, I know for a fact Bluepoint's game, again, live service, was a God of War live service game, a God of War online style game, which is just absolutely crazy to me that we were going to get something like that and it's just all of a sudden gone. And then Ben Studio, and what's crazy with all of this is I believe 100% that all of this is due to Concord being a problem. In September of this last year, Concord was a multiplayer hero shooter along the likes of Overwatch or Marvel Rivals, 5v5 or 6v6 if I remember, and it is a game that was developed with the idea of being a shooter, arena, heroes, all this, and while the graphical style looked pretty, I mean, it was very well done, it did not stand out from the crowd whatsoever. So something to keep in mind with that is what's crazy is the game came out not even 2 weeks after that game came out, and after they spent $200 million making that game was pulled offline. 2 weeks. Didn't even make the 2-week mark and Concord was pulled off. Those are crazy situations, and I just don't understand why I am a multiplayer person. I like multiplayer games. The fact that you are letting games get destroyed because of one bad situation. So Sony needs to look themselves in the mirror and figure this out, because now we are going to get layoffs, and we've had layoffs in this industry for a very, very long time, and we need to figure it out, and we need to figure it out like now. So that is a very, very negative thing, and I hope that we can get this figured out in the future. Layoffs have been horrible for the entire industry this last 2 years. And what's crazy is, I don't ever like talking politics, but the economy in America sucks. But everybody was all like, oh, these layoffs will stop when we get the new president. But guys, the crazy thing is these layoffs have happened all over the world. The games industry as a whole, both esports and developers and everybody's losing their jobs, and we've had unprecedented layoffs, and we just need to figure it out. So, pretty crazy, and I hope we get this figured out in the future. All right, guys, going on to the last episode. Or not last episode. Jeez, again, we're learning. I'm going to have a better script next time. So, here we go. So, this comes from Adam Bankhurst over at IGN for our last story. Marvel Snap has also been banned in the United States following the TikTok shutdown. Marvel Snap's publisher Newverse is owned by TikTok parent company ByteDance. While many were expecting the U.S. to shut down TikTok within its borders if its parent company ByteDance didn't sell to a Western buyer, it was a bit more of a surprise when Marvel Snap went dark as its publisher. Why am I yawning so much? when its publisher, oh my goodness, what just happened? Sorry. When its publisher was owned by the same company. TikTok officially went offline for those in the United States Saturday, January 18th, just hours before the January 19th deadline set by the U.S. divest or ban law. Users who try to access TikTok in the U.S. are now greeted with a message saying they can't use the app right now. However, I do want to point out this does need to get updated because TikTok is back working in the United States. They did release an announcement saying, hey, we're back, bitches. Yeah, so that's cool. That's back and we're good there. So some crazy cool things to think about in regards to that. And then after the TikTok ban went through, it also turns out Marvel Snap players were within the country's borders were getting a similar note. Sorry, Marvel Snap isn't available right now, the message reads when you try to open the app. A law banning Marvel Snap has been enacted in the United States, unfortunately. That means you can't use Marvel Snap for now. What is happening, chat? I have no idea why I keep yawning so much. Sorry, Marvel Snap isn't available right now, the message reads. A law banning Marvel Snap has been enacted in the United States. Unfortunately, that means you can't use Marvel Snap for now. Rest assured, we're working to restore our services in the United States. Please stay tuned. This was a crazy one for me. Marvel Snap is a game that has been in my vocabulary, in my daily log in, try it, have a good time, and then be done with it at least once a day for years at this point. The fact that they're gone when this TikTok ban, that was not at all on my bingo board. I didn't expect to see that at all. So definitely some things that we need to figure out in the world of this TikTok ban, because what's crazy is there was tons of apps that were banned yesterday. This was more than just TikTok. TikTok, CapCut, which is a popular editing software that you can do really good things with on mobile. I mean, everything was just gone. So CapCut was gone. Lemon 8, TikTok's kind of, or ByteDance, whatever, the TikTok alternative to Instagram, gone. Marvel Snap, gone. I mean, all of these different apps were just gone. So definitely crazy to think about in regards to that. All right, guys. So we are coming towards the end of our first episode. Obviously, I am fully aware that we have some things that we need to work out, some kinks that we need to work out. Quick little bit of housekeeping with you guys. First and foremost, the links to all of the stories. So if any of the stories are of any interest to you whatsoever, please go down into the description below and check out the links below. We would also like to talk about this week in the Katican Studios schedule. We plan on having a live stream for sure, either tomorrow or Tuesday. And we're going to have just a good time playing video games, having a good time talking. We plan on streaming for a little bit. Delta Force, Hell Let Loose, Squad, definitely Foxhole, because there's a new war that started on Foxhole, and that. This week, you will also be getting a video regarding the game Hell Let Loose and my experience with it and why I think it's a game that you should try, especially if you have Xbox Game Pass. In the future, we also have videos regarding the Delta Force update. That should also be going live this week. So definitely keep track of those. So yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. Again, I'm sorry that this was an absolute shit show. I had a good time with it. I plan on doing these again at least once a week, having more episodes or more news stories, being a little bit more, having a little bit more, stuff figured out with it, and we'll go from there. So thank you for tuning in. This is a test episode. A couple other things too. Sorry, I know I was about to just end it, but we definitely plan on having a lot of stuff going on. You've heard me talk about the Katican Studios. There is going to be an announcement with a lot of that coming in the near future. We have a lot of things planned for me personally, so just kind of keep your eyes and ears open. The year of 2025, I hope, is going to be a good year. I got to hold myself accountable. I want you guys to hold me accountable. Let's have a good year, 2025. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you for watching Katican News.